We were just talking about Charlie Condon to talk about Bowman and go over some early Bowman sales. Last week on Bowman Day, I did V-Friends, which we'll talk about some V-Friends coming up here in this show as well. But what's really disheartening is I asked the shop. And the shop, we have our shop here in the Bay Area open 11 to 6 every day in Santa Clara. And then we have our breaks. And they're kind of two separate entities. And I asked the shop the other day, I said, how, and they've been having some really good months. They've been selling like Series 2, Series 1, all the baseball products they've been doing really, really well with. And I asked them how much boxes they have sold. And this is as of today. And it was like 6 hobby, 4 jumbo, and 2 delight. It's the least amount of in-store sales that we've had on Bowman ever. So,
are you counting the shop website as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's tough. So my thought, but the breaks are doing fine. People are getting into breaks. They're loving the breaks. The breaks are doing well. We're filling them up. We did 10, 20 cases of each one.
I think I gave you the data for that. I want to say I don't know what the breakdown is off the top of my head, but it was probably close to same time frame, about 400 boxes. That were digested in breaks.
Correct. So now my question is it priced too high, or is it there's just not a big enough name first Bowman wise or a rookie that are getting people to come in and spend that? What's a hobby box now? $350?
Or 2. Well, I guess it would be about that.
It has to be at least 3, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's see. Right now, as we're recording this, 2025 Bowman Hobby. That'll be the cheapest one.
Might have been 3. Could be 280
$250 on Fanatics. That's if it's still there.
Yes.
So $250. Some shops are selling them for $325.
Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the thing I was looking at is, I think we've still got some 2024 Bowman sitting around, which is a little cheaper. And I think is probably still, I know, depending on how you feel about Dylan Cruz right now, I know he's off to a slow start, but I think there's maybe a little more promise with that class. Again, all of this is also it's hard to predict the future. There's going to be potentially some people, and you're going to see in the sales here, there's guys that I don't know if we counted on to be the biggest guys. A few of the guys, like J.J. Wetherholt is selling, Roki Sasaki, despite some ups and downs starts, is still selling pretty well among his rookies. But there are a few guys that have surprised so far. A couple guys.
But I just feel like I love Bowman. I got back in this hobby with Bowman. I love prospecting. I love Elite back in the day, and now it's Prospect Edition. But Bowman was always my jam, and I would be able to get boxes for $100, $150 at the most. I think jumbos were $150 when we got back in the hobby, right? So it's so you're okay getting a guy that you have to wait for, but these are priced so high now, $250 for one auto basically, and even more so for the Delight and the Jumbo for in-store purchases that. It's almost like they needed a Skeens or they need somebody to draw people in. I don't think Roki's name's big enough yet. He's a pitcher. Charlie Condon plays for Dinger. There's not a name. And
but this is kind of if you go back on the data in the last 4 or 5 years, this is pretty much on par
with where it ends at.
With where it ends at. So this is pretty much what Bowman has been. The price has been the last 4 or 5 years now. There might not be a player that we're talking about right now, but if you fast forward 3-4 years, there very well could be a player that everybody is chasing.
That's fine.
But that is buying on a big what if, and I hope this player turns into something.
I'm just confused at the lack of in-store sales on our end. I mean, could we have maybe marketed it better? I don't know.
Has the price point shifted to this being a primarily group break?
I think
product.
I think a big part of it is that.
Yeah.
I think a big part is that.
If it was $250,
mm-hmm.
if it was, or maybe let's say $150, $200 for a hobby box, then I do think more people would buy it. But I think with so many options of group breaks out there, and you can just you can buy the Rockies in a full case break readily available. Mm-hmm. And kind of limit your risk because you're searching for the number one prospect in there.
Yep.
I think that's what people are being more inclined to do. Plus, you could also get in on some other teams that have some prospect autos in there that are going to be super cheap. compared to the box price.
Right. I mean, because we're at $250 now. I think when me and you got back in the hobby, we're looking at like what, $70
It was,
on a hobby?
it was, yeah, it was like,
$70,
it was
$80 on
like
a hobby?
70,
Yep.
70, $80.
Yeah, I know times are different now, and
And I mean, we're
there's a lot.
talking like that was 2010 in a super. That was $70 on a super hyped Steven Strasburg gear.
But some early sales, and these are buy it nows, but looks like a Zyhir Hope red auto, which is one of the bigger chases from Bowman. Zyhir Hope's an interesting case because he had his first Bowman in draft, so the first Bowman signification is in draft, but he didn't have an auto. So these autos will not have first Bowman. I hate when they do this because it's super confusing. 5 years down the line, people will be like, well, I don't want to buy that Zyhir Hope because it's not a first Bowman. Well, it technically is his first Bowman auto.
If you were to change, I mean, could you put like first Bowman auto?
I guess they could. That might help with down the line of understanding why it doesn't say that because, say he becomes an amazing pro.
Because that is the card that you're going to want.
That's the card you're going to want.
That
That's the number one card.
over the first Bowman, that's a non-auto. This is the card that you want. But you're right. It could very well be a little confusing 5, 6, 7 years down the road.
Right. If he becomes a stud, he's the next Acuna. But you can see a red here. These are best offers, so I don't know what these ended at, but $9,999 on a red, $6,000 on a gold. These are all Zyhir Hopes. A green, $1,900, a purple, a blue, $900, and another blue for $900. So obviously a lot of hype with Zyhir Hope. How's he doing? He's like, what, 17, 18 right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's still like. Look, there's a lot of guys in that Dodger organization that are doing really well.
It's what the Dodgers need.
Yeah, exactly. They need another really good young
all
stud.
They need is a great farm system to go along with their
891
absolutely
OPS.
stacked lineup.
6 homers in 33 games, 286, 891 OPS. Like, yeah, he's doing fine. He's only 20 years old. And they've got another prospect, Quintero, who's in here as the first Bowman, who he was just named Player of the Week. It's like perfect timing for him. He's on fire. Yeah, Dodgers have 3 legit chases in this when you also account for
they definitely have been selling first over the Rockies.
Yep.
In breaks.
And Rockies, it's Condon and nothing.
Right.
And Charlie Condon is not off to a good start right now. And that, I think, is also playing a factor in why maybe there is a little bit of like, do I want to buy a box of like where the lead guy is batting 180 right now in 25 games, only has one
single
home
A
run.
or triple A?
He's in high A.
High A. Wow.
He has one home run in 109 plate appearances right
He's
now.
hitting it a lot of loud outs, is what I've heard.
Yeah. So
A loud $180.
The plus side of that is watched Bryce Eldridge last year with the Giants, where the first month and a half it was like it's not quite there yet, and then right around mid-May, right around this time, completely changed. Like
Condon
looked like himself.
Drafted out of college, or was he a high school?
Drafted out
Yeah,
of
he was going
college.
spikes.
Georgia was one of the top
Oh.
picks. He had 37 home runs in 60 games.
He
last
should
year.
be on the fast track, right?
Yeah,
'Cause they-
that's what they'd like is for him to be their starting
They
first
need
baseman here in about 2 years.
Maybe tomorrow.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
And
They could.
maybe he can be the first ever rookie player coach.
Yeah.
So
Like you just come up and not only just put him right in the middle of the lineup, but like we can use a coach.
I think that's part of
Use
it.
a manager.
And frankly, I mean, the sales, you can see the sales right here. They're still, they're still good, and they're still what you would expect among a top prospect or one of the top chases. But I think he's being outsold by Zyhir Hope a little. I mean, some of the Zyhir Hopes were higher numbered than this, but I think he's also being outsold by J.J. Wetherholt right now.
Purple's a good
There's
looking card, though.
The purple looks
It is.
The
really
purple,
nice with it.
That
It
does,
looks really,
that does.
really nice.
They did really with the jersey matching matching that perfect shade of purple. It's like
It's nice.
that's
It's a piece of art. And you know what? His auto looks good, too. I mean,
Yeah.
purple auto sold for $1,300. Once again, these are buy it nows. There was a gold, but it looks like it's a gold wave, so not true gold.
Right.
$1,700 with one bid. A reptilian. God, they make so many colors every year.
It's a lot.
$2,500 on the orange reptilian, and a shimmer orange $2,500.
you just went over 2 oranges, and neither of them were your
Daddy's orange.
Your
Yeah.
daddy's orange. Your
No.
orange regular. That was a segment that had a lot to do with the Rockies.
A lot of Rockies.
We've talked about Rockies, but it's in the last like 3 or 4
I
episodes.
mean, look, when you've got the number one guy in Bowman, you're going to get talked about. So, but
I love Coors Light.
I mean, it's good beer. JJ Wetherholt, though, feels like he's the guy who I think collectors have said, nope, it's you. You're who we're going with, shortstop, infielder. Currently the highest bid, and this is as of May 12th, the highest bidding, or the highest, not bid, yeah, you can see it, listed at $29K for the Superfractor Crystallize. Obviously, probably won't sell for that, but
I think they're on some crystals.
yeah, maybe.
Pitch them high, watch them buy.
But two reds that are currently, or actually one's a number to 25, excuse me, it's an orange. It just looks red in the picture. Two numbered autos there. The red currently with 32 bids as of this recording at 3600.
There's a red X-Fractor too.
Jesus, I know there's so many. And then an orange wave at just over 1,000 with 22 bids.
All right, Wetherholt. Talk about him. What is he?
Wetherholt.
Shortstop.
I don't know a ton about JJ
Cardinals.
Wetherholt. He's a Cardinal. I know that
I'm
much.
assuming based on that price, he could probably hit home runs.
I sure would hope he would hit home runs for that.
$3,200.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
for that
sure
price.
he's going to hit some home runs.
There you go. Yeah, and his final season with his best season with West Virginia, 16 home runs in 55 games. Batted .449 in 2023 and 2024. Played 36 games, batted .331. So came down to earth a little bit. Now just batting only .331. And he's off to a good start. He's already up in Double-A right now.
Oh, okay. Fast track.
Yeah, he got immediately put in Single-A in 2024 out of college. Now is in Double-A. He's 22. He's probably going to be fast-tracked. Where he plays will be interesting because it feels like the Cardinals have about 25 players who can play shortstop, third base, second base. Like, they have so many of those guys. I mean, they've still got Mason Wynn there. They've got Brendan Donovan who can do all that. They've got Lars Nootbaar in the outfield. I'm sure they're going to be like, JJ Wetherholt, can you play outfield?
Well, at least they don't have to compete with Brandon Crawford anymore.
That's true.
You know
Won't
what I
have to
mean?
do that. Nolan, he's probably the heir apparent to Nolan Arenado. That's my guess. Is that he is probably the guy who's gonna slip into that spot.
Actually, I'm surprised Nolan Arenado is still a Cardinal.
It doesn't make it. He probably won't be for much longer.
And yeah, if you guys are listening to this podcast, we are talking about Bowman. And if you're like on the fence about Bowman, we just talked about the Cardinals, the Rockies, and the Dodgers. So those are teams that you're seeing going off the board first in breaks. And those are the teams that everybody has those players on the most hype, as you can see with Wetherholt. To talk about hype, what do you guys think about this new Crystallize? I mean, obviously, it looks like it's a play on Color Blast.
I love this insert. I think it looks really nice. I think you're right. It's totally a play on Color Blast, but it's different enough for me that I think it's like totally unique to Bowman. It's not at the level of the animes. There's more of them, I think.
So it's like the middle if you broke up a crystal.
Right. If you broke those fancy, you can buy like those fancy rocks at like a gift shop or something. When you go to like a museum, you know what I mean. It's basically that, and they're all colored according to the team, and then you've got you can see that Jack Caglione, if you're watching, it's sold for $1,300. It's an orange version of that.
So it's got a little bit of orange
right.
around the
but even just
outside.
The base version, the Luis Angel Acuna one, currently 16 bids on it as of this recording at $1,225.
That one's an orange too.
I think
is that an orange?
I think Tops
it
is still.
So the base one for Jack Caglione at $615. So
still
But
trying
Charlie Condon base one $1,200.
Right.
I think we're going to keep on seeing this. I think Tops is going to keep on trying to come out with these inserts and see what truly does stick.
Yeah. I think this one can stick. I think this looks really nice. It's like a Color Blast without being a Color Blast, which is kind of exactly where you want to be. You don't want. I think the Helix is too much.
Yeah.
It's way everything about that insert to me is just you are just trying to do Color Blast. At least try to do something different. To me, this is something different.
And it's needed. I mean, we talked about it a couple shows ago. The Tops is we talked about it in terms of basketball, but Tops is trying to find a insert that hits, and this is them trying it, and we'll see. I mean, early sales look like it's going to be something that works. But do you just keep it with Bowman? You got to keep it with just Bowman, right?
I think you keep this with Bowman. You got to find something for Topps Chrome. Helix is what they've been going with. It's fine. The secondary market for it's fine. I don't know. Personally, I'm not that into Helix. It just feels like too much of a copycat.
And some of the top Bowman auctions that are currently going live.
I think we've even gone overboard with some of the Panini stuff too. But
look, everybody's trying to outdo each other with all of these.
I feel like Panini is trying to outdo themselves at times.
That's true.
Optic football when you have the downtowns and then you have the uptown.
Oh yeah, now you got uptowns and clearly in Donruss.
What?
There you go.
But you look back,
So
you're like, Was it needed?
No.
Is it needed?
No.
Do we need it?
Oh, you know what? If you were talking about ones that I think we can get rid of, I kind of liked it at first, but home field advantage for baseball.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
That's just a-
fine.
yeah.
but that isn't that their version of a downtown?
That's
It
what I'm
is,
saying.
but it just
That's why
doesn't
I'm like, we don't
work.
need it.
We don't need it.
Yeah, we don't need it.
No, but they need it. They
You know what,
need
though?
it.
And it's in a series one. I guess it's fine in a series
They almost should
one.
have put it like at Topps Chrome and like it'd be
Yeah.
like sparkly, more sparkly.
Shiny.
Yeah, it's got that shiny foil, but that's about it. But yeah, here's your look at your top auctions at the moment. Roki Blue, number to 150.
Color
$2,000.
match.
Color match. $2,000 for that.
With some
one.
time remain. Oh, it's sold. Yeah, 2000.
Yes, sold. These are all ones that sold. There's a lot with time remaining. There's a lot that are. You'll see the next one. There's some that are buy it nows, or we can't confirm the actual price. But these are the ones that we know for sure. These, or for the most part, that these ones are pretty solid. And look who's there again. JJ Wetherholt, number to 50. Gold Wave. Sammy Stafora, I don't know that much about. Who's selling there?
Is that Cincinnati Red?
Cincinnati Red, and of course it's a
What about,
red.
what about Big
Number five.
Poppy's kid?
Big Poppy's kid.
Not
It's
obviously
getting by
not.
name alone.
Okay.
And there's also
really
Jaden
is.
Fielder in the set as well,
Yes.
which is Prince Fielder's,
That is crazy.
Son.
Yeah, we did not.
which is the
realize-
first time I think that I've watched 3 generations of a player.
Yeah.
Now,
God, it's crazy
Cecil
to think.
to Prince
Yeah.
to Jaden.
Well, I
Well,
was even thinking like,
That's my cue to retire.
Yeah.
Well,
I always said when I was able to witness 3 generations of baseball
Yeah.
players,
that's
I'm
a
out.
wrap.
And
Prince must have had him when he was young, right?
We looked
'Cause, like,
we actually looked it up because I was like, how is that possible? He retired young, and I think we looked it up. He's 41, so it's
I
not
remember
like
trying to collect Prince Fielder's
Right.
rookie.
yeah.
he
I
retired.
think I remember
at
trying
32.
to collect Cecil Fielder's rookie.
Yeah, there you go. He retired at 32. So like, well, wait, he's not that old. Like, how's this possible?
So he had his kid when he was like 20. Then.
2004, Jaden is born. 2005, Prince Fielder makes his MLB debut.
Jeez.
So there you go. That's where it times out. Because I do remember his kid being around at like the home run derbies
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, he
Like,
had the big hair. I
he was
think.
very
Yeah.
he was all out there. So kind of reminiscent.
But
to
you
like
have
when Vlad
you
Jr.
have
was
that,
out there.
and you had like Darren Baker that was in prospects, not
That's
like,
right.
like not too long
That's
ago.
right.
And Dusty Baker and Prince Fielder are not close to the same age.
No.
No, I think Dusty was like 50 or 60 when
I was
he
gonna
had
say he's a
Darren.
little older
Yeah.
when he had Darren. I was gonna say it's crazy that like the 06 Derby, because wasn't Vlad Jr. there with Vladimir Guerrero, and then
Yeah.
Jaden Fielder was there with Prince Fielder. So you might have like 2 like, maybe in 5-6 years. The 20 whatever we're at, the 2030, dear God, 2030 home run derby might feature both Vlad Jr. and Jaden Fielder.